This is a project that we have been running within the sustainability think tank since last autumn. And of course, it's ideas that we have had much longer than that. It's about a new award that we last week voted yes to in the IAQ board too. So it's up running, and of course we have a little bit more work to do. We will do some pilot runs here, but I will give you a little bit of the background and show you the model briefly here, and you will probably hear much more about this later on. This is about and this work had been done by me, Ram, Willy, and Mats especially. We've been working quite a lot, and thanks to those electronical way of sharing information and having meetings, and so we had been able to work very good in distance. And maybe thanks to the Corona situation, we had got more time to do it too, because we have been stranded in our offices. Anyhow, all of us, we know that the need of getting a more sustainable development in companies, organizations, and in the entire world is huge. And this is something that we have been thinking about within IAQ for years too. We have the think tank today, since a couple of years ago, led by Ram and Willy, that is focusing on this area, trying to align quality and sustainability to each other. We have had other initiatives before. Me, Janak, and some other of us some years ago tried to do the clean water project together with ASQ, and we've learned a lot from that too. Sometimes, anyhow, we found that people have a little bit difficult to understand the connection between quality and sustainability. So I will give you some ideas about this, a little bit about our thinking. And I personally used to explain it based on two perspectives that we can see. This is what I call the micro perspective on sustainability. If we have this factory here in the middle, we look at all of the effects that is happening because we run some kind of businesses in this factory. Especially in the environmental area, we talk about different aspects, climate effects, pollutions, use of resources and things like that. And of course, this is important, but as we all know, as quality professionals, we can't solve problem just focusing on facts. We have to understand what's behind it. We have to understand the system that is behind it, and in the end, finding the root causes. And that brings us into another perspective that I'm thinking is very, very interesting. I used to call it the micro perspective. We have to go inside this factory and understand what's going on here. And that's exactly what we are doing in the quality world, because we have many different tools that could help us to understand what's going on here. And what we know, all of us, is that a very limited part of the resources used are really creating value for the customers that are there in the other end. There is a lot of waste. The poor quality costs are big. We don't understand the needs, so we over deliver, and so on and so on and so on. So we have so many tools that could be used to create a better world, to create sustainability, to drive sustainability by continuous improvement, to use the philosophy, the methodology, and the tools of quality management to create sustainability. And this is the purpose with the quality sustainability think tank too, of course. But when we try to convince people about this, they don't understand really what we say. Because sustainability and environmental issues and so on are very strong in other knowledge areas, but not in ours. Of course, there are sometimes projects that could show the link here between. Here is a project I was guiding some years ago. This is Bengt. He's a a former student from me, I think 20 years ago, something like that. He's a black belt, and today he is manager of one of the bigger plants of Sandvik. Sandvik is a Swedish steel company, and also doing tools and so on. And in this project, I think it was a good example of this. He used the Six Sigma methodology to reduce energy consumption, saving a lot of money, but also hundreds of tons of carbon dioxide. But what made it different compared to many other environmental projects, that he used facts. He measured things. He understood what consuming electricity in the factories, and he made a breakthrough that hadn't been possible at all without that approach. And in some way, we need to demonstrate how quality and sustainability is linked to each other. And last year, I got an idea, and we started to talk about that in Lisbon when we had the meeting there at the IAQ conference, and we get really involved in this in the think tank. And the idea was to create a quality sustainability award, an IAQ quality sustainability award, to demonstrate those good examples. Because if we could get a lot of such examples, it will be much easier to convince people that sustainability has to be developed by improvement and using part of at least of the methodology that we have. So we started up the work. We even got a logotype here. It was very nicely designed by Willis Weiss, that is a graphical designer, so it fits us very well. We had been benchmarking some other award models. Of course, we looked at different excellent award. Mats, that is part of the group, he is the president of the Swedish Institute for Quality that owns the Swedish Quality Award model, so we had it very close. But we also had some other called Quality Innovation Award. I think it has been up running for 11 years now, and it's more than 20 countries that is involved today. Last year they had more than 500 applicants, so it's quite big. And that was a quite interesting model because it's focusing on specific projects, because we all know that if we should assess an entire organization, it's very complicated. It takes a lot of time, and it also has to be a very formal model. But if we just assess a single project, it's much easier. And what we are looking for is also a good example that we can see like the cause and effect relationship between quality and improvement and sustainability. So we use that as some kind of idea. And model, we have made a roadmap for how to use it. Any company could apply for this award by following our procedures that we have designed an application form, rather simple, that the organization should point out a single project, show how they have used methodology, tools, philosophies of quality management, and in what way they also have achieved results within the area of sustainability, defined by the 17th development goal by the United Nations. That's natural because that's a general way of looking at it. As a starting point, we plan to do a pilot run already this year. It has to be digital, of course, because we don't believe in the situation in the world changing that fast. But of course, we will learn from that anyhow. And maybe it could also be interesting, as we saw today, we had more participants than ever on an IAQ meeting. Maybe this is a good starting point even to reach out, if we could use social media and so to inform people about this. And in this pilot run, we will do it like by ourselves, by IAQ. In the future, we hope that this will be growing, And if so, we also want to have local partners in national quality organizations that will do first like a national run on the award, and then the winners of the national awards will be nominated to the global award that we will handle from IAQ side. We also have another idea with this, and that's every applicant for the award should also write a one-page summary, a popular report that we are allowed to use for publication and results. And in that way, we hope to build over time a huge database of good examples about the link between quality and sustainability that we could use for promoting those things and to show people what has been so difficult for others to understand when we just talk about it in papers and theories and so on. If we have those empirical, practical results, it's different. We had also been developing an examination model. It's a two-step model to make it doable. The first step after an organization have applied is that we do an examination of this one-page summary to get like a filter to find the ones that are of interest to continue with. And then we have a second examination based on some kind of, it's up to the applicant, but they should also send some kind of project report from it. It's voluntarian how it is, and of course also this application form. And we have built a matrix here that we of course over time, based on learning, will continue to develop how to assess those nominated projects. And in the end, we will also have a prize giving ceremony. We have designed a general project model for it. So every year we plan for the next year, and we put a time schedule, and we find the right conference or so to give the award. As I said, this year it will be some kind of digital award ceremony. We hope it will be in like mid-December or something like that. To do a pilot run with a limited number of countries. I suppose it will be at least Sweden, because we have much on board. So we have the Swedish Institute for Quality. We talk about India too, because Ram is very active there, and you have been talking to the Indian quality organizations, and probably a number of countries too, not too big, not too small, to learn. So this is what we are doing, and I believe strongly in it because I believe in this connection. And I will give you some more reflections, because I think, again, this is maybe more than just an award. I think it's maybe a little bit of the future for quality, because thinking about the three dimension of sustainability, we could even connect the different management system to those areas. If we look at the ISO 9000, 14000, and so on, we are covering those areas. And today, if we look at a lot of the sustainability discussion, there is a lot of focus on the environmental issues. And in this way, we see that quality affects this area. There is quite a lot of discussions about social sustainability. We can also see effect of quality here. But the area of economic sustainability, I think, is also another thing that is worth thinking about for the future, because it's not discussed a lot, but all of us understand, of course, for future generation, it's very, very important that we have a good financial situation on the planet. And to me, I think this is very, very close. Maybe quality management has a huge future also within economic sustainability. And I think if we go back to the International Academy for Quality, if we look at the documents that describes our purpose and our core values, that years ago I was part of the task force that we spent a lot of time to develop those documents. But thinking about those things, I think this is sustainability. I think in many ways we are a sustainability organization, and quality is about sustainability. So it's more like some last thoughts here for the future. I think we should really think about this link, not just the award, but is we part of the sustainability community in a much bigger way when we think today. That was what I wanted to share with you today. I also will recommend a paper very well written by Ram and Willy that I think it's very soon will be published on our webpage, if it's not already is. It is worth reading because there are some of those thoughts written. This model, it will be quite soon also published. We still have another round to go, looking a little bit on the language. We got a very good help from Liz and Blan here to go it through, because me personally and the other, we speak English, but it's not our mother language in that way. But after that, we will build a separate homepage for hosting this award to run all the work around the award and taking care of the applications and so on. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah.
Ram, did you want to add anything?
Yes. So thanks, Liz. One thing I'd like to re-emphasize from what Lars said is that it's a very simple award. It's for a project. It's not for a whole company's level, and therefore it's not so difficult to administer. And this year we have to do it as a pilot on an online basis, or a test, if you like. And then next year, we hope that if the situation clears up, we should have a good competition with many countries participating. I hope a lot of countries represented here will participate and send the entries of their companies, and we'll figure out how to evaluate them and so on. So this is actually a great work done by Lars, and it's appropriate that he made this presentation. He took the lead in formulating this whole system and making many documents. And then, of course, Mats, Willy, and I had a free hand in making comments. Making comments is easy, but writing the whole system is difficult. Actually, the document that Lars has made, even though he feels a little unsure about his language, I don't think the language is a problem. I think it is pretty much complete. We have a complete system for running the competition. And I think it'll be a good thing for IAQ. So it's a competition in the name of IAQ, and IAQ also needs to make its presence felt in greater circles, in larger circles, and I think this may help.
No, I agree. It was a very well written and very thorough piece of work that was done. So thank you all for that. Any other thoughts or questions from anybody?
Just a comment from me. I didn't say it, but if any of you are interested in taking part in this work, you're very, very welcome to the think tank.
Absolutely. The open invitation to join the think tank.
Thank you, Lars.
Okay. Only trouble is you have to work.
Yes, that's okay. All right. Oh, we do have a question. Jorge, you had a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Lars, for your presentation. My question is, at the end, you mentioned that working in Dubai Police, can we send an application as a project, or you need an application as an entire organization?
No, it's a project, not an entire organization, and that's the idea with it. Because if we get an entire organization, it's really too much complicated, and it's much more difficult also to see the relation between what we have been doing and the results. But for a single project, it's much easier.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bob King, you had a thought or a question?
Yes, please. In the last, what's happening here? Here we go. In the last month or so, I've been spending quite a bit of time on sustainability with a neighbor of mine at the University of Notre Dame, which is in my backyard. You can see it behind me. His name is Ollie Williams. He spends half time at the United Nations on sustainability, where he's part of the leadership for over 10,000 companies working on sustainability. And last month, he asked me to help him put together a video for Earth Day on sustainability with some wonderful questions and answers on Zoom. And I will be sending that out after this meeting to all of the membership. So that's the first point. The second point is being so absorbed for the last month and thinking about IAQ, it occurred to me that in the healthcare think tank, it would be very helpful with the complexity of it if the members were willing to share from their particular countries any insights into terms of the virus. And then the second thing in terms of publications, which I think now will be all virtual, I'm looking for people who have worked on specifically on strategic planning because there are so many companies that are shut down now or minimized that need to emerge. And I think the many members of the IAQ could offer many ideas on helping them think about what they want to look like when they emerge from the virus. So those are my thoughts.
Okay. Ron?
I'd like to respond to Bob's comment about what we've done. You said something about the work on COVID-19?
Yes.
Okay, so I would recommend that we see the website of the Institute of Healthcare Improvement, and there is a COVID-19 dashboard there. It's created by Lloyd Provost, who wrote that wonderful book, Healthcare Data Guide. And it's a masterly piece of using control charts of a certain kind, the unique control charts for knowing where the whole curve is, when it is moved off, when it is not moved off. So that's something that is worth reading.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just going back to the award, I'd like to make one more point clear, if it is not already clear. This award is not a sustainability award. It is a quality sustainability award, which means it's given to projects on sustainability which have used the principles, mechanisms, systems, and techniques of quality. So that's the main thing. Thank you.
Ravikant, you had something you wanted to add?
Sorry.
It was just a question on whether there would be a criteria for companies to apply for the award. Do they need to go through some sort of a national process, or is it directly to IAQ?
Directly to IAQ, and it's a project-based, not company-based.
Yeah, I understood that part.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll check with Ram as well.
Yeah.
This year, it should be direct to IAQ. In the future, depending on how big it is, and to what extent we can find local partners to cooperate with it, because I think it could also be of interest to market the award to have local representatives like national quality organizations. And we have already been talking to a couple of such organizations that are very interested
So
in
we
it.
would like to make national quality organizations as partners to this award at some point of time, so that they screen the applications and send it to IAQ.
That's right.
Yeah.
My
But I
thought
think
as
that
well.
will be much easier if we have made a test run first, so we have more experiences. We have had an opportunity to develop the award one more time based on real experience, and hopefully we have a lot of good examples too that we could share.
Yes, thank you.
Dr. Kano, you had a comment or a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So when you conduct that examination, are you asking based on mainly use that the past tense, or your question is usually made present tense? I mean that in case of that the Borgood Award or EFQM Award, those awards, the question is made in present tense. You can see Borgood Award had that say 120 questions, but all of them written in the present tense. So it means that Borgood Award is asking about a system. But in case of the Deming Award, they ask that say what they did and then what kind of effect. So that in case of that, Deming had that the past and present and future, this. So these two cases quite different. So which style do you go? That is my question.
Yeah. May I answer
We
this, Dr.
try to
Kano?
make it very simple. So the main thing is for the applicant to be able to show us the link between what they have been doing, how they have been using quality tools in a professional way to achieve measurable results within some of the areas defined by the United Nations as sustainability by the 17 goals. So it's focusing really on what they have been doing and what result they have been achieved by that.
May I add something to this, Dr. Kano? This award cannot be compared with Malcolm Baldrige or Deming. Or those are very big awards. This is an award for case studies. It's not an award for companies. So it's a very small and very simple award.
Okay, I understand. So that's very good idea. So in the case, maybe the name sounds to me very big. Maybe you may consider about the lovely name. I think that's my suggestion.
I think it's more comparable with the quality circle competition and team focusing on sustainability results.
It's not at quality circle level. It's certainly more higher level than that, but it is only a case study.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all.
Greg says his mic isn't working, so he has two comments. Go ahead, Greg. If you'll type your comments, I'll read them. Number one, this is similar to the Innovation Award.
Yes.
Go ahead, Lars.
Yes, we used, as I said, we used the Innovation Award like a benchmark because we have seen that it works rather well thinking about how to examine the applications.
Matt knows a lot about the Quality Innovation Award. He's deeply involved in it, and therefore Matt was involved in this way of drafting the Quality Sustainability Award also. Yeah, so we learned from Matt.
And then Greg's other comment is that he also agrees with the economic sustainability aspect in the future.
Thank you.
No, it's more like an idea, but I think it's worth thinking about because that could also be another way to position quality management in the future. And the use of those tools. I don't mean, of course, not changing the name, but being able to show that we could be a very, very important factor from the quality community to develop economic sustainability. We have been knowing that for all the time, but if we could use the framework of sustainability to get leaders, top managers to understand this, because sustainability is still the future.
Ram, this is Sunil here. Clarification.
Yes.
That this sustainability award is will be considered for sustainability problems which have been solved using quality tools and techniques.
That is correct.
And therefore, you will be seeing the symptom to root cause and root cause to remedy journey in
and
this.
whatever else that goes with quality. Yes.
And whatever else that goes with that.
Yeah.
So one little suggestion that I have is that in the early stages of the award, we should give higher weightage to the process
Okay.
of achieving the result, so that people learn to do the right way rather than focusing on the result only. And at some point of time, that weightage can shift when there is enough learning on the process.
Thank you. So there are 5 of us from the think tank here, so we'll definitely take it through. Thank you very much for that suggestion.
And I think we will come back to you, Sunil, too, because I know that you have a lot of experience from the sustainability area too, from Tata.
Yes, we're going to ask you for suggestions anyway. So
happy to contribute.